Welcome back. Over the course of the next two mitzvahs, we're going to explore honoring one's parents and fearing or having reverent fear of one's parents. This is a mitzvah about which there's a great deal of confusion. We'll try to clear up some of that confusion, and I think you'll see as we go through it, you'll gain some greater clarity. But let's take a look inside. Today we're doing mitzvah number 41. It is a positive commandment to respect one's father and mother. As scripture says, honor your father and mother. Now, what is the honor meant here? One is to provide food and drink and clothing out of the father's money. But if the father has no money and the son does, the son is compelled to sustain his father according to his means. This applies to the mother also. And he is to attend upon them, his parents, in the way that a bondservant attends upon his master. He is to honor him even after his death. If one's father, could be parent, tells him, "Get me water to drink," and there is some other religious duty for him to do, skip the brackets, if that duty cannot be done by someone else, he is to carry it out. It is quite a different, we'll explain later. It is quite a different matter, though, if the father tells him to commit a sin. Even if a misdeed only by the law of sages, he is not to listen to him, for all have the duty of honoring the blessed God. A lot to take in here. Honoring one's father takes precedence over honoring his mother, since both he and his mother are obligated to honor his father. If anyone slights the honor of his father or mother, he disobeys this positive commandment unless he acts with their knowledge and consent. A woman also bears this obligation, but what her husband prevents her from doing in this regard, she is free of doing. It applies everywhere and always. Okay, we got a fair amount to unpack here, so let's get to it. Right? If the parents have money, then it's their money that should be spent on taking care of their basic needs. When we talk about honoring here, we're not necessarily only talking about, what we call honors. What we're talking about here is making sure that there's no diminution in their self-respect and the respect that others have for them, if you can prevent it. So, for example, they have to be properly clothed. They have to be properly taken care of. Their place has to be clean. Their needs have to be attended to, right? So all of those things are obligations that we have. If it can be done from the parents' money, fine. If not, the child, if they have the money, should be doing that. If a parent tells you to get them something, then you have to do that, even if there's another mitzvah that you could do. If you're the only one available, you should do that and not the other mitzvah. This tells you the significance of the mitzvah of honoring one's parents. However, if a parent tells you to sin, you don't listen to the parent. Why? Because both you and the parent are commanded to listen to God. So the parent can't tell you to do something that God does not want you to do. Now, here's very interesting. Honoring one's father takes precedence over honoring his mother, since both he and his mother are obligated to honor the father. Okay, that's like a halachic calculation. All right, practically we all understand that there's ultimately no difference between, you'd have to have a situation where there'd be a conflict between the two for it to matter. And I'm not sure what that situation would be. Finally, we have a potential conflict between a married woman, between her husband, or responsibilities to her husband and responsibility to her father. So the halacha is, Jewish law states that the husband's needs take precedence. So that there's a conflict between the needs of the husband and the needs of the father, the husband's needs take precedent. I know, personally speaking, with my in-laws, my mother-in-law is a Kornel Rocha, and my father-in-law, that you should live and be well, I know that with them, I told my wife, listen, don't worry about me. You take care of your parents. I passed on any such requirement. But technically, I could say, take care of me, don't take care of your parents. But why would anyone do that? That's just nish menschlich, as they say. Okay, next time we have a different category, which is quite interesting, and that is a positive commandment to have reverent fear of one's father and mother. Fear here is probably not the best translation. Your parents should be held in awe, and you should do certain things to reflect that, and we'll see what that is next time. Thanks for being with us.